I've always heard my favorite MotoGP stars talk about how motocross is such an integral part of their training. And today, I finally get the opportunity, thanks to TVS Racing, who have invited us to their private motocross testing facility. What better platform or what better way to find out or understand the concept of traction when you're slipping and sliding everywhere, and to master it, the kind of throttle control and the body position which you need. That's something which I'm here to understand. It's a very dangerous sport where the risk of you falling is very, very high. If you don't have the right equipment, you basically mean that no matter how much you're enjoying the sport, you're going to cut that time real short. This is like an alien world. There are so many things for me to get used to, including this apparel. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. My legs are like all cramped up, but they told me that eventually I'll get used to it. So, I think the best way to start this adventure is to get to know the bikes.
So definitely we have more bottom end torque, the sprocketting to the suspensions, the tire. These are definitely suspensions that are built purely for motocross. They have a travel of up to 7 to 9 inches. That basically helps you hit jumps at high speeds and definitely be able to get more airborne.
More power brings more smiles onto a rider's face, you know. So it's like there's a common saying in motocross: when in doubt, more gas.
Overgrip here. Okay. So even when you open the throttle to the maximum, this is the maximum, and your wrist hasn't gone down. You're out here aggressive, ready for any kind of input that the bike is going to give you.
Overgripping keeps everything in sync so that you can take the impact. It's your suspension.
If you do not have your elbows out, if you're going to hit a rough section, the moment the bike goes into a small head shake, right, you want to be able to counter that. Right. If you have your elbows in, you can't counter it, and you definitely want to sit upright and as close as possible to the tank. So you're transferring your entire body weight. That is from your shoulders. You're transferring that weight down right through the front fork to the tires. Everything that you do here, you're going to try and generate traction so you can go faster. So you definitely want to have your toes. You want to ride as much as possible on your toes, and you've got your knees locked into the tank. Okay. You don't want your knees loose. You don't want this to happen. Then that's going to make the bike move separately from you. It's going to have the bike loose beneath you, which is very, very dangerous. You need to be one with the bike at all times.
The posture here where he showed you to lock your legs on the tank, that's how you steer a bike in dirt track.
If you're taking a right corner, have your leg hugging the tank and facing the fork always. Okay. Don't let it loose, because then you have a lot of strain and your legs want to dangle separately. Your left leg, has to be firm on the opposite side footrest, weighing down that side. Well, when you're standing up, if I'm going to let the bike loose, then this is it. But if I'm here, locked, I am ready for anything, and the bike is going to remain with me.
When you go off the jump, the bike is you're gonna feel the bike is gonna be free. So when you power, the suspension kind of reacts to it, and then the bike straightens out. And just before you land, you got to power back again for you to avoid all the impacts and for you not to case the jump.
You can't go really hard on your brakes. We prefer to have all the braking done before you enter the corner, so you are in your desired speed before you enter the corner, and your brakes are released free again. So the next mode is going to be just coasting through the corner, carrying all that momentum and trying to improve that momentum through the corner. The simplest rule is smooth in, fast out.
In Supercross, you don't run through the gearbox, so it's just like 1 or 2 gears, mostly like second and third.
The rear brakes is used only just for you to stabilize the bike a bit. If you're going to lock up the rear wheel, you're going to lose traction. Entering into a corner, we prefer standing and a bit at the back. So you want to be here, lock the bike in, and just gradual on the front. You're downshifting and you've got your brakes, back brakes. You're just feeling for the back brakes. You're not going to have an abrupt input into it where it's just going to lock. And then release and sit when you go into the apex of the corner and power out. When you feel that the bike is going to drop or you're losing balance when you're going into the corner, be confident enough to gradually open throttle. That will help you maintain that momentum and regain that balance.
At the risk of sounding like a complete fool, but I'm going to ask anyway, is there any technique of falling? If you realize that, okay, there's no way I'm going to make this, a fall is inevitable, is there any way?
Yeah, see, here I think bailing out of the bike is the best thing what you can do, and then not freeze in the air, fold yourself. Once you crash, you kind of roll over, and you take all the impact evenly. You're not like a log coming and crashing down. Right. You're like a ball bouncing off.
I did not expect motocross to be this physically demanding, but I am hooked. I absolutely love this sport. Got to learn the basics, got to understand the sport, the finer details, spending so much time with these champion motocross riders. It's been fantastic, and I hope you have had just as much fun.